du tournoi Messieurs Roland-Garros 2022. Le premier joueur entré sur le court possède 21 titres en Grand Chelem, 13 ici à Roland-Garros. Il est espagnol, Rafael Nadal. Il rentre accompagné par Louis. Accompagné par Sacha.
As you perhaps might expect, a bigger roar for a player who's won this event 13 times before, but a respectful cheer as well for Sasha Zverev, who for the second year running is in the semi-finals here. And there are just so many different facets and subplots to this encounter. One of them being Mark, who perhaps will get out of their chair first, because in previous matches, we've seen them both take a bit of time here, almost as if to say to their opponent, no, this is my house. So we might have to wait some time for the coin toss.
Well, I like the fact that the other day you were I think, the Alcaraz match, that you felt like that Zverev was just employing a bit of delay tactics, just letting him know that I'm the higher ranked player.
And he's the higher ranked player today, but I don't think, as Rafael Nadal has said at his press conference, he's got the experience here. It's not going to be, he's not going to lose this match for lack of focus.
Yeah.
That's his exact line.
Yes, he doesn't oscillate. He doesn't, he may hit the peaks, but he doesn't bottom out. His bottom level is, you know, of a high quality. In particular, it's Zverev through this tournament and maybe through this particular season, and we'll get into some of that background information as well, but he does hit the highs and lows in his level.
I mean, it is funny, they've now got up at exactly the same time. Rafa is first to the net. But it's going to be a stunning atmosphere, even more so with the roof shut, reverberating around this wonderful Philippe Chatrier court.
And Zverev is just getting his racket out of the bag, now taking his jacket off. Yeah, sends a message.
Hello, Alexander. 1 second. You take it. Gentlemen, we do it after, okay? For today, 25 seconds between points. Time starts when I call the score. If you need me to take a mark, stop and say something. And we do a picture with the kids and without the kids, okay? Do you have any questions? Alexander, we have Roland-Garros or 22, please? Roland-Garros? Vas-y. Roland-Garros. You receive? You stay here? Allez-y, la photo.
That was Zverev winning the toss and electing to receive first. We will soon find out. You can already hear the crowd. Nadal described them as amazing. Actually, he said they were difficult to describe with just how much this event means to him, how unforgettable that night was with that win over Novak Djokovic. I say night, of course it finished in the morning at 1:15 a.m. Many stayed very late on that occasion, and many here are braving the weather outside. Still pretty warm, incidentally, 22 degrees Celsius, might go as high as 27. But it is soggy, to say the least. The roof will stay shut throughout the entirety of this match. Once they start the match with it shut, it will stay shut. But Mark, you were fortunate enough to commentate on that win for Rafael Nadal, once again beating one of his great rivals. For you, what stood out the most in that performance from Nadal?
Well, the way that he came bounding out of the start. There was a bit of, I guess, hesitation on my behalf, that I felt like that after the lengthy match that he played with Roger Aliassime, and that was 4 hours 21. I just thought that maybe he might be a tad slow, given some of the injury concerns heading into this year's event. But I guess you should never doubt, you know, this great champion on this particular court. But he built a healthy lead. He lost the momentum, but boy, again, we were saying earlier how he doesn't. The bottom level for Rafa is still of such a high standard. He went through a bit of a trough, but he bounced back strong.
And compared to previous years, he's lost more sets this time around. You mentioned that loss of 2 sets to Felix Auger-Aliassime. Thrilling 5-setter, then a long one against Djokovic. He's had 2 days off. How concerned are you with regards to his freshness for today?
For today, I think that extra 24 hours, I think, is such a huge bonus, a plus for Nadal. It's going to happen. He has continually been the king of clay here for, you know, the last 13 years, 14, 15 years. It's going to come a time where gradually he is going to lose sets along the way. He's not going to be able to maintain that high standard that has blown us away year after year. So I really mean, it's magical experience, just being here to witness it and to be able to call his matches. I think he's got to really come out fast though today, and will his body allow that after back-to-back 4-hour matches?
Because they've actually been on court for a similar length of time, haven't they? Because Zverev, I mean, we go back to him saving that match point in round 2. And if he is to go and win this tournament, 2 things will happen. He'll be the first to win the tournament since Gaston Gaudio did, having saved a match point. But also, he'll become the new world #1.
Massive moment. Again, you and I were talking before these players entered the arena. That his ranking, he attained his highest ranking back in November of 2017. He's been waiting all that time, 5 years, and he hasn't made any progress. And you know, so he's on the precipice of actually achieving some greatness. Does that haunt him in this particular match? Because it is one step further, but he's got to overcome this the greatest on clay.
As we see Sergi Bergera and his father, Alexander Senior, in his camp. And you mentioned not breaking that ground of world #3. If he wins this match, he does go to world #2.
That's a huge celebration.
With regards to that, does that add extra pressure, or is it just the pressure of a semi-final here? That's enough?
Well, we've seen Zverev at times. He has not handled those pressure moments. He's had a lot of off-court distractions that he's had to shoulder, and that has affected his game. And generally, we see it disappear with the first serve percentage. He exposes his second serve. He's gone through the yips with that. The forehand becomes less of a weapon. And then his attitude suffers in those pressure moments.
As we see the head-to-head with regards to the amount of time they've spent on court, as we referenced earlier, not too dissimilar, both pretty close to 15 hours. You also may have seen the head-to-head just flash up there. It is Nadal who leads at 6-3. But if you're looking for more information as to help Zverev, he's won 3 of the last 4 in their head-to-head. They've only met once at Grand Slam level, and that was Nadal, who won in 5 sets, but that was way back in 2017 at the Australian Open. And they've only had 1 5-setter on clay before. That was in Spain in the Davis Cup, and it was a straight sets victory for Rafael Nadal.
How much does the 5-set format influence this match for you, Pete?
I think for me, even though Sasha Zverev played it down, I think it was huge that he finally got over the line against the top 10 opponent at a Grand Slam level in the previous round. He said, look, I wasn't focusing on that, but I think that was a weight on his shoulders, the fact he hadn't beaten a top 10 player at a slam. So I think it's not as big a factor because of that, but obviously, I think you have to say it favours Rafael Nadal, who's done it time and time again.
Head-to-head on clay at 5-set matches?
Well, it's 1-0.
It is, but 1-0
on 5-setters.
Sorry, on 5-setters, yes.
But on, yeah, I mean it's 3-1, isn't it?
On clay.
On clay,
yeah.
Does have that one win in Madrid, but of course very different circumstances there, high altitude.
A little quicker, all those conditions more favourable to Zverev.
So here we go then. Nadal just getting himself ready, putting those towels in the boxes. Hoping to reach what would be a 14th Roland-Garros final. Of course, that's a record. Could also be a 30th Grand Slam final. Not quite a record, still trails Djokovic and Federer, who both have 31 in that regard. Whereas Sasha Zverev is looking for a second Grand Slam final. It's Nadal who's the favourite. You just never know. Such is the beauty of this sport, and it will be the 13-time Roland-Garros champion to get this one underway. 17-time Grand Slam winner Mark Woodford alongside myself, Pete Hodges, and we will talk you through it. I was saying there, Mark, Nadal's the favourite, so patterns of play. What's got to happen for Zverev today for him to claim the victory?
Weapons, always nice when your strengths, your weapons are operating. First serve for Zverev. He's been sending down a bundle of aces over his 5 matches. Really interested to see how the forehand stands up against Nadal today. We know that he can direct it cross court well enough, but can he redirect enough times up the line?
Talking of forehands, the men's game is a certain way of playing these days. It's first serve and forehand. When you look at the 3 of the 4 semi-finalists, they are all above 84% in terms of hitting that first serve and getting the forehand into play. Very different though for Zverev. He's at 57%. Quality point from Zverev.
There's the 6'6" frame, perhaps of benefit as well for Zverev. Those high rotating balls that come from Nadal's end of the court might not be so bothersome to someone as tall as Zverev.
It's big ball striking from the German. Is Nadal's wife, Marriott, married in 2019, childhood sweethearts. Sister and mum there as well. Always able to get to all of Nadal's matches, so pretty special when they are here. spoke in his press conference about the fact that, okay, hasn't beaten any of the big three at Grand Slam level, but he has got close. As you were saying, Mark, the start of this match so important. There's a chance for the world number 3 to steal an early break. What a start from Sasha Zverev. Wondering how he was going to feel playing against the all-time great player from these championships, but a nerveless start from the German.
It's unusual not to have seen Rafa come out there. He's just seemed a little heavy. It's only the first game. That was a couple of those rallies. I thought that you know, normally we would see him a bit more bubbly, a bit more presence there.
Do you think too much birthday cake this morning?
Could be. I mean, you know, it's got to get. It's a bigger cake now, isn't it? 36 candles on it.
Last time we saw him drop his opening service game, he responded by winning the next 5 games against Botic van der Zandschulp.
Yes, that ignited the ferocious level of Rafa.
But he's up against a different quality of server today.
15-0.
First serve percentage against Alcaraz was often in the high 70s until the end of the set. He got a little tight. For all of the chatter about the struggles with the second serve for Zverev, he has the fastest average first serve by some distance compared to the other semi-finalists here, but also on tour over the last year, second highest first serve percentage. Well, you wondered about that forehand up the line, Mark. So far, so good for Zverev.
Yeah, that one flush on the baseline. So, look, I think Rafa's going to get a lot of backhands today, and that's the shot that I do question. In times gone past, Zverev either misses it or he has to de-accelerate and hit with a lot of height over the net, and so the rally just restarts.
40-0.
7 points in a row. That's an example there of how Zverev plays this sport a little different to others. Chance to take it on the forehand, opted to go with the backhand.
Merci beaucoup, s'il vous plaît.
And that is the combination that we were talking about that would be dangerous. Very comfortable going cross-court backhand. Zverev into the strength of Nadal. and then attacking the opening space. A great start for Zverev as he backs up the break.
Has a decent record against left-handers as well, Sasha Zverev. He stands up to 47 and 29 losses. That's in his career. The left-handers obviously using the slider serve wide, the forehand goes cross-court, all into Zverev's two-handed backhand.
Something I just noticed here, I mean, usually Nadal would do that, the change of ends with the towels, so that perhaps shows you, thinking as clearly as he usually does, to go and get them at 2-love. Something you expect with the 21-time Grand Slam champion.
Another one.
0-10.
That's one in each of the games. That's forehand down the line. Well struck. 158 Ks.
Hands up.
He's found another line. And he said he had to play his best tennis against Alcaraz to win, and he said, either way, whether I'm facing Djokovic or Nadal, again, I've got to find my best level. Looks pretty good so far.
Yeah, not waiting for the ball there. Rafa, when he is pushed out wide to the forehand, he has a tendency to just roll it cross court. That's his out. Just get it, heavy rotation. Zverev not waiting for it at all. A couple of quick steps in. Rips the backhand cross court.
He's got a little caught out there. Zverev didn't quite catch the backhand up the line as he would have liked.
Ronda.
Look at that reaction. Just how important that game was.
Zverev men
Later than he would have liked. 14 minutes it's taken Nadal to get on the board, but he is on the board. Zverev leading 2-1.
Reprise.
Absolutely packed crowd here. There's a real buzz around this Chatrier Stadium. Who it is, someone who was pretty good at dealing with the crowd and certainly very well loved. Gustavo Curtin. Multiple champion here at Roland-Garros. Maybe even more popular than Rafael. I know that's tough to say. Certainly
could be.
Certainly he is back in Brazil anyway.
He forgot the start time.
Fashionably late.
Prenez vos places, s'il vous plaît, les joueurs vous attendent, merci. Les premières disponibles. Merci beaucoup.
All the stars out to watch this one on We Look On. To be fair, been there for the majority of matches on Chatrier in these championships. What a confident couple of volleys from Zverev. Something we haven't really talked about. How much of a fillet is that, Mark, to have Sergi Bruguera twice a winner here in his box?
Yes, a big plus to have a former player who knows the ins and outs of what it's like on this type of surface. Navigating through 7 matches, 2 weeks, as well as maybe just providing that Spanish influence. Naus. Of course, Bruguera is captain of the Spanish Davis Cup team. Nadal has been part of that. Whether he goes to the extent of just passing on minor bits of information.
The shot that you were questioning so far is 10 out of 10.
Yeah. That's 4 of them. That all 4 have won the point as well.
Premier service. Quarante-15. 40-30.
First time that we've seen the miss hit coming from Zverev off that forehand wing. In particular, that was trying to redirect up the line.
Zverev.
And finds a big first serve.
Yeah, it's big, it's fast, it's got plenty of action on it, and don't forget his presence. When he can back it up behind the net, Rafa would have to play such a well-placed, high-quality return to get up past Zverev.
And so far, Mark, he's missed one first serve. This is dreamlike stuff in terms of the start for Zverev. We've seen the drop shot. It is a shot that certainly many players like to use against Zverev, his natural position being so deep on the court.
And you covered that match. We didn't get to work together on that particular day, but how many drop shots did Alcaraz actually try? I mean, he has been really the king of drop shots the season.
He went there numerous times, as he always does, and that was his most successful shot. But I felt he went there more often because first two sets, his forehand and backhand was actually letting him down. But it was highly successful against Zverev. He actually got asked in the press conference, what was it like to be drop shots so much? And he said, yeah, tough.
It's not a shot, though, that Rafa, he can execute the drop shot, but he doesn't necessarily use it as a way of drawing the opponent into net to try and expose their movement. Rafa will, I believe, try the drop shot in order to win the point, or if he's got them out of position.
Yeah, he actually went into a bit of detail about why Alcaraz is so difficult to play against, because the grip change is so subtle and so quick. So it's the disguise that gets him, and the fact he's able to play it from neutral positions, whereas, as you say, Nadal a little different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lots of vamoses from Nadal. Already you feel he's having to fight and dig in here. A slow start, keeping it to just the one game difference. Of course, we've seen lots of his family members and wife here for Nadal, which isn't always the case. For you, Mark, did that add a little bit of extra pressure when you played? If you had a
family there? Yeah. No, not at all. They rarely travelled, given the geography of coming to the other 3 slams outside of Australian Open. No, when they did turn up, I really enjoyed it.
If they can put more Roland-Garros towels there, will be great. Thank you.
I wasn't one that felt the pressure of having family and friends turn up. In fact, it had the positive effect that I really wanted to show them that, gee, I've had a good year. You know, it's great that you've come to support.
Reprise.
We've had so many night sessions here where there's been a real electricity around this court, with the excitement packed out every evening. But with the roof shut, it's a bit more of a cacophony of noise. was electric when Nadal walked out. He feels Zverev done a good job of just quietening down the majority of these fans. Can they keep it going?
Merci beaucoup, mesdames, messieurs. Les joueurs sont prêts. Merci.
Zero. That's now 12 from 13 first serves made.
Far from me saying whether Rafa is in the comfortable position to return serve, but if this continues, I would expect to see him change.
Well, for me, Zverev served so well against Alcaraz. Was only broken twice in the entirety of the match. I got asked straight away, can he beat Nadal? And I said, I'm just not sure he can serve that well again in such a big match. But so far, he's upped it to another level.
Strong numbers there already that he's posting.
Oh, it's glorious.
And it's not just the serve. That's what we have to remind the viewers at home. It's his ability to strike the ball cleanly. That backhand cross-court was strong. Of course, devastating backhand. He's able to thread up the line and 151 speed.
And again, didn't miss a first serve in the game. Mightily impressive. Even more so, as I say, he had around 73% first serve percentage against Alcaraz. His tournament average, 67%. Right now, it's 94%. We so often talk about who adapts better to conditions. The fact that the roof came on. So far, it's been the German, and that is not something you often say with Nadal.
Well, maybe just a waiting game for Rafa. Felt like there was a little bit of lethargy, but you know, also the heightened level of Zverev. But patience.
Zero.
It's magnificent from Nadal. First time really he's weaved his web.
Well, maybe that is something that he will entertain today. That was one of the shots that I was inferring. Just playing it short enough to entice Zverev to come forward. As we know, Rafa's ability on the passing shots.
Sweet as you like from Nadal. It's interesting he used that tactic. We know he's more than capable of throwing it in quite often, but incidentally, forehand speed for Nadal so far today, average 112 Ks. Average for the tournament, 126. That's very low. So maybe finding new ways to win the point because he's losing the baseline duel. Nearly able to steal the point there, Zverev, but for the first time today, Nadal with a love service hold. Zverev leading 4-3. For you, Mark, what's the reason we've seen such a huge drop-off in the forehand speed?
I think maybe, you know, as I said, a little lethargy. I sensed that in the first game. There just wasn't the quickness off the mark with the first couple of steps, and maybe you know, they've 8 hours plus, almost 8.5 hours the last 2 matches. So you know, he knows his body, might be just trying to play himself in. Even though he would have loved to have got the jump early on, but he's prepared to be here for the long haul.
Reprise.
It's a noise that is so often associated with Roland-Garros, as well as the Mexican wave. At the sit-down, Mark and I were just discussing the forehand speed for Nadal. Was something that oscillated a lot against Felix Auger-Aliassime. There was one set that he was up around 130, another set that he was down at 116, and 112, very low. As Mark was saying, maybe just finding his feet, warming his body up after a couple of very long matches coming into this one. Either way, here's Zverev with new balls, 4-3. Another surprising stat, Mark. Picked up in the first 7 games. Coming into this match, Zverev had won more points, percentage-wise, under 5. But anything over 9, he'd won the least. So you thought today, against Nadal, the longer rallies, certainly going to go Nadal's way. That hasn't happened. Well, I think Nadal might have missed this. At least Zverev thinks so. No. It was not the best of drop shots from the German.
It's a tad heavy-handed, wasn't it?
Merci. S'il vous plaît.
It's a better point from Zverev, especially after the previous 2.
Yeah, just willing to commit, taking the ball on and achieving such an angle. But then he's also relying upon the move forward to get a defensive response by Rafa. Very cool under pressure at that last point.
40-30.
Talked about patience, Mark. There's certainly been a little bit of a level drop from Zverev here. Perhaps the tension, the fact he's edging closer to a 1-set-to-love lead against the great champion. Sienna Miller watching closely.
Merci beaucoup, mesdames, messieurs. S'il vous plaît. Merci.
The third time he's missed the first serve. To say, the second serve not holding up.
Well, trying to go for the outright win on that second serve. Is that a healthy pace?
And again, Nadal just delaying a little bit. Zverev being made to wait.
Merci, s'il vous plaît.
A break point. Again, another point over 9 shots goes the German's way.
Égalité.
Into the net. Reaction by the crowd. Keeping a lot of the shots, a lot of his direction, the centre corridor. Nadal on that last rally, 19 shots.
Wow. Just wonder in the back of his mind, maybe the previous forehand he's missed in this game. That is a horror.
Avantage, Nadal.
Well, it's not unusual to see, I think, the miss hit, but it's the fact that he lost the racket at the... That is a rare occurrence.
To make all club players feel a little better. It's another break point.
Yeah, this is a test now. After the way, the manner of that last point unfolding, I'm sure that he'd want to be allowing Rafa to see a second serve.
He's missed it. And Nadal breaks back. And you were talking about patience, Mark. He actually didn't have to do that much to win that game. And was that just sheer tension from the German? All boys just trying to get a glimpse of the 13-time Roland-Garros champion. That could be a very big moment in this match.
A bit more of a march now by Rafa from the towel, cleaning that line. Perked up after seeing that backhand go wide, but still has got to head down.
Merci beaucoup. Out. 0-10.
Does Zverev, for you, Mark, simply have to win this set? Because surely we expect Nadal's level to go up somewhat.
Oh, yeah, look, I think the first set is important for both of them, just to gather momentum and confidence. I think more so than Zverev. I think he's much more dangerous as a front runner. Rafa, though, can come back. He's a competitor. The fighter. He doesn't mind getting into a battle. We've seen that the last 2 rounds. And perhaps we had seen that shot clear the net, work in the first 7 games of this match. But I like that he's trying to break the rhythm, keep the point short against Rafa. This is all ideal play. That's why he's reached we're still alive in this set at 4-all. I don't think you should change the idea of playing Zverev.
Hasn't been too strong at 30-all so far. Sweet serve at left-handed direction, just straight down the tee. Nadal getting very close to the shot clock, but he won't mind. Hasn't been called on it yet, and he's turned this set around. Certainly hasn't been anywhere near his best. The leads by 5 games to 4. And Mark, what we've just seen in the last 3 games or so, is that purely the Rafa Nadal effect in terms of Zverev is playing Nadal here on Chatrier?
Well, the build-up, I mean, I think Zverev is aware that Rafa slow off the mark, up that break, and you know that it's going to, I think you're aware that it's going to come. He's going to be able to, you know, if you miss your first serve, the points are probably going to have to be extended, even though Zverev has had a high win rate when those rallies have extended. But I think he asks so many questions. He forces you to play at that level. And if you're not executing, I mean, he's back in the game. And now Zverev under a bit of spotlight to continue holding serve with a good percentage.
It's going to be very interesting to see how the first forehand in this game is for Sasha Zverev. That was the shot that let him down in his previous service game. Having led the whole way, now when it matters most, Zverev trailing and serving to stay in the set.
Les joueurs sont prêts, merci.
Wow. I actually thought Rafa might have tried the backhand up the line. Hasn't been hitting it as well this tournament. He's been misfiring. Backhand up the line.
And you can understand him targeting the forehand side.
Yeah. And there's that forehand where Zverev, the confidence that he displayed in the first 6 games with that forehand up the line is now just tentative. He guided that one, tried to hit high over the net and pushed it long.
Hold again.
Such a smart tactician, isn't he, Nadal? He just said he'd be testing out the forehand. You could see that was where Zverev was expecting him to go. He's going back in behind a couple of times, putting Zverev in all sorts of tangles.
Rally just extends. It evolves when he's missing the first serve, Zverev.
Made that one, though. Taking it so early.
Well, that's like a 3/4 serve for Zverev. Very safe, 185 kilometers. But yeah, the return just over the center line. But Zverev with the feet leaning on that backhand.
First serve percentages come down as it always was likely to. That is exposing the second serve, which has been an issue really throughout his whole career.
Merci, mesdames, messieurs. Merci.
That's a real rarity from Zverev. Not usually a strength of his, the S&V. Superbly executed.
Zverev.
Yeah, it ended up being a pretty good volley. It wasn't too short, it didn't sit up. It actually had some depth, but it stayed awfully low on Rafa. So just these little signs of Zverev, and from Zverev's end of the court now, that suggests this pressure is mounting. Doesn't mean to say that he'll end up losing his serve, but that just these minor cracks appearing in the veneer.
And again, just making Zverev wait a little. Forehand has just gone. When you consider throughout this tournament, it has been an issue. 41 winners, 81 unforced errors. And despite the start that he had here,
Nadal.
he could barely make a mistake. It's let him down at the key moment. As again, Nadal just taking time with the towel and making Zverev wait, which does seem to happen more and more.
S'il vous plaît, mesdames, messieurs.
It is a set point for the Spaniard.
S'il vous plaît.
Mark, what do you make of Nadal going to the towel there? Because it is supposed to be at the service pace.
Yeah, it is. I think it is a little bit of the mind games. Rafa is sweating profusely, a heck of a lot more than what his opponent is. But he is having a tendency to make him wait at these key moments, juice and add in.
Are you surprised Zverev doesn't say something to Renard Liechtenstein, or is he best not to get involved in that sort of battle?
It depends on how quickly he gets up there to serve. I know generally he doesn't take a whole lot of time when things are going well for him.
Incredibly, it's a third double fault. He's only hit 8 second serves, so his first serve percentage, which is at 79%, is way better than his second serve percentage.
It's covering the serving department, that first serve. Makes it harder for him to decide. Does he then redline the first serve?
He's overcooked it, and it'll be another set point for Nadal.
Avantage Nadal.
Doesn't look like a comfortable reaction on
Merci à tous.
the face of Zverev now. Just
Merci beaucoup.
Some doubt. A shake of the head. I think he's actually hurt his hand a bit as well. Nadal with a set point. Well played.
Admirable effort to send in a 206 first serve. Again, the first serve has been holding his game together in this match so far. And a key point there was, would he want to send down a second serve?
Oh, he's missed that one. Set the point up beautifully.
Avantage, Nadal.
Nadal doing what Nadal does, just asking one more question in the point.
Patience. Played patiently to get back into this match, and there's a patient level of play in this particular game as well.
Third set point. But it holds up for that set point. German fans will have had their heart in their mouth as he wound up for that one.
216 first serve speed. He's putting it out there. Last few points, Sasha Zverev.
The other thing I'm noticing with Zverev, these sort of reactions are fairly tempered. Spotted in the match against Alcaraz. He said in his press conference he purposely was a lot calmer, knows that in a 5-set matchup you need to save the energy. And again, all the reactions here in what has been a dramatic first set have been pretty measured. Still can't get over the line in the game though.
Égalité.
Well, again, like that, he's forcing the issue and coming forward, but not an easy volley at all. Rafa wisely going up the middle of the court. 6'6" frame. You'd expect the wingspan to be pretty decent as well. So if Rafa goes for a corner, it's a much more comfortable volley for Zverev. So why not go into the body, tangle those long levers?
No, he's missed it. I know you've got a few houses, Mark, but you would have put the majority of them on in making that one.
Zverev.
Alrighty then.
Well,
ran through this backhand. No real slide into the ball. You can see even when he made contact, he kept running. So perhaps the timing not up to Rafa's usual standard.
Oh, that's brilliant from Zverev, and now we see the big reaction. Stunning footwork to move up to that volley. And that's a huge hold, saving the 3 set points.
5 jeux partout.
Again, there's that ability with the long wingspan, the extra or less steps that he has to take, given the wider gate, and against many other players, that ball would have got a lot lower, around ankle height, but for Zverev, very tidy.
Zverev showing Nadal how it's done with the running short ball backhand.
0-10.
Forehand though from Zverev to get it down to the toes of Nadal. See, the Spaniard just guessed the wrong way.
It's a rare occurrence, isn't it, for Rafa to have to play a half volley.
It's been a fascinating first set. Both players haven't played their best tennis at the same time. Is it going to happen here? And another long rally, though, going Zverev's way. That was not in the script before the start of this match. So good. And Zverev did not see that drop coming.
And just when I was looking at the stats on our screen and noticing that Rafa has yet to hit a forehand winner, 3 off the backhand side, and I guess we can consider that a forehand winner right there. That's amazing for me that Rafa played 10 games and no forehand winners.
And like the genius he is, forehand not firing, he's finding other ways to win the point.
Yeah.
His expression hasn't really changed throughout.
Pensive.
Oh, he paints the line. That's a wondrous backhand from Sasha Zverev.
Here's it ever. And see Rafa's backhand slice here. It wasn't too bad. I was just thinking, Pete, whether it was too neutral, just too much up the middle, but still magnificent drive. Backhand cross court, the angle as well from Zverev.
I was surprised that Zverev went with a chip return there.
That's what makes it very difficult for lefties against Zverev. His win rate against lefties is strong, almost at above 50%, but their usual traditional serve, swinging into the backhand or swinging the player out wide, that's right in his wheelhouse. Bjorn Borg in the crowd. Oh no, it's not Bjorn. That's the Spanish version of Bjorn Borg.
That was great court coverage from Nadal, but relentless from the world number 3.
Avantage Zverev.
Yeah, there's that running forehand. Rafa has a tendency to just throw it in cross court. That's his defense. He's out just to play it high. Zverev very much aware of it. Great footwork, good court position himself.
Another break point for the German. It's amazing. There was still a lot of work to be done on that volley, but played to very close to perfection.
Égalité.
Just taking his time. He hasn't changed his expression either.
I wonder whether he thinks that Zverev should have had a better cut at that forehand return.
Too many looks at second serves. Could be a costly miss.
And have a look at the attire of Rafa. He is drenched. It's got to be difficult when the ball goes into his pocket because it's going to get heavy as well.
Well, that's why it's not. He's only playing, I think, with one ball. And then turning and asking for a ball after each serve, which is why he's taking a little bit of time between first and second as well. This time it's Nadal's turn to survive. Under real pressure in that game. Couple of break points saved.
Nadal mène 6-5.
Feel both players have played better, but it's high-level drama.
Excuse me. I know it's tough, but look that.
I know.
You need to try.
We're doing okay like this, no, Rafael? It's okay like this, no?
I am trying to go fast, but
I'm trying to help you as much as I can. I know it's so humid, even for me. I know.
Well, conversation there. I mean, so Nadal's just wanting a bit more time from Renard Liechtenstein. To be honest, I've been watching the clock as well, and he's giving Nadal as much time as you can possibly give Nadal. It's at the umpire's discretion as when he starts that shot clock. A couple of times there he was feeling a little rushed and saying, hey, look, full of sweat. It's tough. But I don't think the umpire can give him any more time. He's already, for me, perhaps getting away with a little too much anyway.
Walking the fine line, yeah.
So for those that weren't with us, Nadal just saying, hey, look, drenched in sweat, can you give me a bit more time? And the umpire saying, I'm trying to help you out as much as possible. And he hasn't been given a time violation warning. And as I was saying, I think he's been given enough time anyway. Renard Liechtenstein has been starting the shot clock pretty late. That's a very solid overhead. The other thing that Liechtenstein said is that, yeah, it's very humid, even for me, with the roof shut. Zverev doesn't look like he's played any tennis at all. And how much he's sweating.
30-0.
A couple of long, tough games. Enough service hold here would be huge. A bit of momentum for Zverev. That's what I was saying. If service hold would give him a bit of momentum. Any service hold will do now for the German. Worrying in his second serve, mid-net. Gets a lot of luck. But he'll take that luck, Zverev, as we move into the first set tiebreaker. And talking of tiebreak records, both have very good tiebreak records. 10-2 this year, Nadal. Zverev, 12-2 this year, but he's won 4 from 4 in these championships, including a couple of really dramatic ones. Beat Zapata Miralles 13-11 in the first set tiebreaker. And for those of you that were fortunate enough to watch, beat Alcaraz 9-7 in that fourth set tiebreaker, which was an absolute thriller. Let's hope for more of that. Nadal incidentally 1-0 in these championships. Nadal still hit it.
Nadal.
A quite unreal shot off that ball. And Liechtenstein just showing that it was just long.
You have to give Zverev a bit of credit, though. The adversity that he's faced in this first set, he hasn't let it weigh him down. It hasn't been reflective in too many consecutive points. He's been able to push that reset button. But a tiebreaker, just one misstep could be costly.
And one thing he did say in his press conference after that amazing win against Alcaraz, he did say, I won the match. As Alcaraz losing the match, he very much won that fourth set tiebreak.
Absolutely.
Surely it's got to be the same here, right? Oh, at least he was being aggressive, but he's missed another forehand. First mini break goes to the world number 5.
2-1. Nadal.
And there has to be a level of acceptance by Zverev that he will lose serve in the match. He will make those forehand errors, but it's the way that he's winning his tennis, as you say, Pete, in those key tiebreakers already. He has gone out and won them.
Just incidentally, to let everyone know just how big this first set is, particularly for Zverev. Nadal, he's 99-1 when he takes the first set at Roland-Garros. Only loss coming last year to Novak Djokovic. High-quality tennis. An excellent return. Nadal just couldn't quite deflect the ball into the open court.
Yeah, there's the half volley. We're so used to seeing Rafa being able to volley and into the open court.
That's quality play from Zverev. His forehand holds up in that rally.
4-2. Zverev.
He's got the lead as they change ends.
There's the adversity and being able to respond after going down 1-2. Re-engaged, picked up the 2 receiving points on Rafa's serve, and that was a big point. It was committed.
It has been an epic set. Hour and 18 minutes already on the clock. And Nadal again, just taking his time. And again, Zverev being made to wait. He hasn't put any pressure on the umpire as of yet. He stayed so calm throughout this opening set, Zverev. Remember, he's already saved 3 set points. And again, despite being made to wait, what a great serve and backhand that was.
Zverev.
Letting his tennis do the talking there.
just when it matters most, Zverev has found his forehand again. I'm not sure what that signal means from Nadal. 4-0 in tie breaks at these championships, Zverev. He's got 4 points to make it 5-0. Any idea, Mark?
Maybe the ball is that big. Humid, not only for his dress, but the balls maybe a little larger, making it difficult for Rafa.
Makes just 3 set points.
And look, it could be reflective on the rally ball. Rafa's been consistent today, but he hasn't been able to find the open court, in particular with the forehand. Only the one winner, 3 coming from the backhand. Zverev, though, having much more success being able to drive through the court.
Had the confidence to do the serve and volley, but it was an edgy volley. And now this point becomes significant. A couple of quick points in a row for Nadal, and he's back in the tiebreak. Would you believe it? The shot of the tournament, and what a time to find it. Absolute genius.
Well, of course, anticipation. This is a tremendous dig. And you just run for the open court. But having not played a shot like that the whole match, and at the most crucial stage, rolls it into the open court.
Maybe 36, but he still moves pretty well. Still has a set point to save.
Merci. L'aide. Premier service.
Four points in a row, and it's 6-all. Once again, the anticipation skills from Rafael Nadal just off the charts.
Pete, I'm not sure that Zverev has put a foot wrong or hit the wrong shot in the last 2 rallies, and he's still come up short.
Tick towards the 90-minute mark in this epic opening set. As we said earlier on, when it went a little awry for Zverev earlier on in the set, he was able to push the reset button. Can he do it again? And it's the biggest forehand he's hit all match. The things Rafael Nadal can do at this tournament defies belief.
Well, I think the reaction of the crowd there, that's exactly what I'm doing, putting my hands on top of my head. We'll say again, he has not hit, it's one forehand winner up until this tiebreaker, and he has come up with giant forehand winners to now push himself to set point.
That's a quality point from Zverev, who, as you were saying, Mark, he hasn't done a lot wrong from 6-2 up. Missed the volley at 6-3 with the serve and volley. And otherwise, it's all been about Nadal. And it's now 4 points in terms of set points saved each.
Rafa laying that trap. That was that crafty short backhand. Well handled by Sasha Zverev. Well, we might say with other players, a bit of safe D going up the center corridor. But I really believe this is a tactical decision by Rafa. If it gets to the forehand side, up the middle, Zverev really can't execute the off forehand. And really wanting to just power through that backhand, not clearing the net.
Fifth set point for Nadal. We've seen some tie breaks over the last 2 weeks. And we've got another one.
Look, this is seesawing back and forth, and what a point by Zverev. He was not going to go for anything too much. Great attitude, and still just walking around, accepting the situation.
sure what happened there for Zverev on the forehand line. Maybe overthinking with which way Nadal was going to go.
Nadal.
Well, his natural shot is to go cross court, but he has to de-accelerate up the line. He has to get over the net. The ball is below the level of the net to start with, that contact.
Sixth set point
Merci beaucoup,
for
mesdames,
Nadal.
messieurs, s'il vous plaît.
Safe to say, whoever loses this, it's going to hurt. Had to be. No forehand winners up to the tie-break. And then the 13-time champion turns the screw and turns it on. What a set. 91 minutes. Nadal saving 4 set points and takes it 7-6. We want to talk and focus on the genius of Nadal, and there was certainly a lot of that in the opening set, and a quite incredible set, saving 4 points in a row to take it.
Deuxième manche. Au service.
And now it's going to require some effort from Zverev. A reminder, Nadal 99-1. He's won the first set here at Roland-Garros. Oh, wow, what a shot. He was ready for the spin. And once more, a bit of ingenuity from the 21-time Grand Slam champion.
0-15.
This is really going to tell us a whole lot about Zverev, whether he's prepared to actually display some patience. He has the game that bothers Rafa.
Again, switching up the spins and the speeds and giving Zverev the runaround.
0-30.
As I said, he has the game, but it's going to be absorbing all the time that Rafa is going to take in between and have a positive attitude.
The start the German would have wanted. Just such a heartbreaking first set. 3 break points for Nadal. And the hole gets deeper for Zverev. A little look to his team as Nadal breaks to love. Strengthens his grip on this semi-final. Incidentally, if he was to reach the final, Nadal, he would become the 2nd oldest player to do so. If he was then to go and win the championships, he would be the oldest winner here at Roland-Garros. The only player older than him to make the final was Bill Tilden. He was 37 way back in 1930.
I didn't think there were any more records at Roland-Garros that Rafa could actually break. But he deserves every one of them.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised as well, isn't he? But he's still got one more to break. There is Gustavo Kuerten, three-time winner here. No doubt will have absolutely loved every minute of that first set. Nadal firmly in the ascendancy, as that graphic shows.
I don't know about you, Pete, but I actually feel like I've played a whole match just sitting here myself. I mean, it's a smorgasbord of tennis, that the highs and the emotions, the level of play in that opening set. And it's one set only.
Seemingly dropped something that you said, Mark, I thought was a great point in terms of Zverev, that I referenced it earlier, in terms of how he has kept his emotions in check. We haven't seen any outbursts from him. I do feel the shoulders have dropped somewhat as Nadal has just turned the screw. Something a little different to finally stop the run of points against him.
Again.
don't think this one's missed. Going against Nadal. So it will be a second serve. Missed that forehand, and suddenly a game that looked comfortable, a little more interesting.
Opening the door could have really taken a stronger hold of this match. It consolidated at love, or even at 15. Go up 2 games to love. It would have been very difficult for Zverev, but now he's just invited him back in.
It's an incredible point, and it's an exchange that Zverev wins. And just when you thought he might be falling away in this match, back comes the German. Breaks back.
Un jeu partout.
Well, caught in no man's land, Rafa, for too long. Maybe that's, you know, you get stuck there once. But really, the decision should be made. You either keep going forward or backwards. Very difficult to defend in no man's land. That's... I'm surprised with the outcome of that game. Happy for Zverev, though. Just to see his attitude not fall away, that kept his composure.
0-15. Premier service.
Which side do you go now if you're Zverev? The tiebreaker got burnt with a couple of forehands. This time It's the backhand that was too hot to handle. Smooth as you like. Paints the line with the forehand. These early exchanges, this second set, so important for Zverev. Needs a lift after what happened in the first. Smart from Nadal. Such a devilish slice to deal with.
Entre 40.
Saves the break point.
That was a nasty
Égalité.
return. Or just wobbling through the air. You know that it's going to take a difficult, odd bounce. Well, again, right thought. Serve and volley, come in for the volley, but the wrong leg is leading. He slid into that with the right leg instead of the left leg. Should almost be to the side of the volley.
He's missed it. An absolutely extraordinary point. And is that going to be one of the definitive points of this semi-final? Quite amazing court coverage. 36-year-old Nadal comes out on top and breaks for a 2-1 lead. "44 shots of the highest quality, and once again Rafael Nadal defying all logic."
Well, you could see that he's heaving, taking in large, deep breath of air. Yeah, I mean, this is just lung busting. Your legs are buckling as well. And perhaps the easiest of backhands, what presented itself. Backhand cross-court, Zverev overcooks it.
My lemon water, please. Yes, merci.
Well, you run out of adjectives to describe what Rafael Nadal does at this tournament, but that was another sensational moment. We often compare tennis to boxing. Right now, the 13-time Roland-Garros champion has landed a couple of big blows to Sasha Zverev. After nearly 2 hours, he's got to find something from somewhere to still believe he can turn this match around.
A bit more jumpy on the change of ends, Rafa. Very methodical with those drink bottles on the ground. They have to face a certain way, but also just directing the ball kids. Trying to get the right container over to him with enough time. I think these next two games, Pete, might give us some more info on Zverev, how he's travelling, dealing with the last 3 games, as well as losing that first set.
(15-0).
again, just when you feel Nadal has got the momentum and may well pull away, just a couple of errors creeping in. Can't quite shake the German off just yet.
Says a lot about Zverev. Also, did it take that much out of Rafa, that 44 shot rally? Still recovering.
Good to hear as well, isn't it, from Zverev? Urging himself on, and you just wonder, you've got to remind yourself, Nadal, who is 36 today, he's had that epic 5-setter against Auger-Aliassime, followed by a dramatic long match against Djokovic. How is he feeling physically after such a fantastic first set too? Where did that game come from? Another loose service game from the Spaniard, and we are yet to see a service hold in this second set. And you almost feel, Mark, after all the drama and the intensity of that first set, both players are a little flat.
Yeah, exactly, Pete. If we were maybe doubting this man, number 3 seed Zverev, how does he handle and bounce back? But it has to take something out of the 36-year-old as well.
Incidentally, on his birthday, he is 6-1, Nadal. He's got a pretty good record. Wondering incidentally as well about the fitness of Nadal and the foot injury that was so much talked about before these championships. He said again he will talk about his injuries after the tournament, but here I think I'm going to be fine was the last line he used to that question.
I'm sure he would have maybe had some injections, cortisone, or if that was what was needed in that foot, perhaps wasn't able to have earlier in the year.
Yeah, he's talked throughout the championships about his doctor being the difference, the fact he's got a doctor here and he can work his magic and find solutions. Very much, almost every day after his matches has said, don't want to talk about it now. He mentioned after the tournament.
40-40.
We're going to see a 5th straight break of serve. With a chance to keep the breaks coming. An absolute peach of a backhand from Zverev.
It was a fantastic target. I just didn't think Rafa had the leg strength to return out of the corner. By the time he saw the direction of the ball, there was just nothing left to chase it.
What's the reason for the sudden struggle on serve?
Oh, I think they're both leg weary. They've had some good swings at each other in that first set. I think that's just the result. We're just seeing them a little weary right now.
Good foot speed, especially considering if they are a little leg weary. Excellent first step there from Zverev.
Yeah. You know, it's just thinking as well, Pete, that if it does become a battle of fitness, that the serve doesn't play a part. We've seen 4 breaks of serve here. Does that balance go back to Rafa, given his ability to defend? The match turns into a bit of a defensive mode.
To fire that one through. Second ace of the set, 5th of the match for Zverev. And that almost tells you how good Nadal is at reading serves. To just have 5 aces after 2 hours and 12 minutes. Well, it's stopped raining outside. Inside, Sasha Zverev ensures it stopped raining breaks. So finally holds for a 3-2 lead in this second set.
Can you wait 1 second? I want to do this.
As I said, it has indeed stopped raining outside. A lot of beautiful evenings the last 2 weeks in Paris. They'll be happier it stopped raining, despite being still a few umbrellas up. We've had the roof on from the start of this one. All around about 20 minutes before the match started, the rain started to come down. So both players would have been practicing this morning outside and having to adapt to these indoor conditions. As the roof, incidentally, was closed to start the match, it means it will stay closed throughout the match, despite it being drier outside. Nadal serving here, 2-3. Clinical from the Spaniard. Is quite astonishing. Just getting ready to say what a return that was from Zverev. As Mark has said throughout, he is one of the best in the business, if not the best in the business at the net. Sensational volley.
All the games. 15.
Taking 34 seconds on average in between the points. Of course, there is leeway. You may take 25 seconds, but it's leeway at the umpire's discretion for how long before the crowd noise dies down. You start the clock. Zverev, incidentally, on average 30 seconds, so he's also over the 25-second limit, but I think some of that is because he's having to wait for Nadal before serving at times. What are your thoughts on all of that, Mark?
Zverev, if there is any unhappiness, if he feels like it's too much, he can then voice. He hasn't yet said anything to the chair umpire, so I think both will continue in that vein.
That's another really good return from Zverev.
And another game that Rafa gets out to gain point and pegged back.
Beautifully timed backhand that was. Saw a couple of incredible backhands up the line against Alcaraz.
Zverev.
He has one of the best backhands in the business. Sienna Miller, like everyone else inside Chatrier, gripped by this encounter. Here's a chance for Zverev to break for a third time in this set. Nadal says, not yet. You're just wondering whether the Spaniard is a little fatigued. Maybe feels he needs to get himself going, get the crowd going to help him out.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think without a doubt he is feeling a little fried right now. A good move to obviously win save break point there with a forehand winner, but try to start bringing the crowd back in. They've been awfully quiet the last 4 games.
Premier service.
Brutal ball striking from Zverev. just when Nadal was getting the crowd going, he's able to quieten them all down again.
Avantage Zverev.
Say it again, the composure of Zverev throughout this whole match has been exceptional. That's one area that has been an Achilles heel for him against the top players.
Somehow, from somewhere, Zverev has found another gear. And it's 3 games in a row for the German. Don't think too many saw this sort of reaction coming after that epic first set.
Solid, very, very solid. And he's remained offensive as well. Did say that if the legs go for both of them, they were starting to shake a little bit. The server was having a difficult time, but Zverev has remained aggressive there in that particular game. And gee, if he can keep some of these points short in this game, go out to 5-2.
Talked often about his fitness and how strong he is in that category. Worked for a very long time with Jez Green, who did all of that work with Andy Murray. We were talking to Jez Green about him once, and he just said he's a warrior. He's someone who just never says no, pushes so hard in the gym. Oh, my word. Just sublime.
Oh, Rafa using feather-like touch. A ton of credit to Zverev, and he's even chasing this one.
Those types of errors have come quite often. So in the first set, when it was Zverev winning the backcourt exchange, Nadal went, changed the spins and speed, started to drop shot, mix the play up to get Zverev out of a rhythm. Whether he'll go to that a little more here. Or are we going to see, like we saw in the first set, Zverev, who was in complete control, lose his forehand again? forced error off that wing. Nadal steals the point. He is a mind reader.
And uncanny that the camera flashes on to someone who played exactly like this, maybe, and certainly not at this level, but Mansour Bahrami, a magician with his hands. Great in exhibitions, dropping you short, over your head, in between the legs. And how does Zverev, how do those legs now elevate him up to serve?
Great champions find new ways to win, and a bit of ingenuity in that game from Nadal did the damage, along with that double fault. It's yet another break in set 2. I just wonder again how much that is going to hurt Zverev, who, to remind everyone who wasn't with us in the first set, he started out brilliantly and got to 4-3 and played a very loose service game, which just allowed Nadal back in. That feels like eons ago. But again, having got control of this set, a couple of loose shots, missed forehand, double fault, just allows Nadal back in.
Yeah, and not sweating as profusely right now, Nadal, even though the work rate is still at a premium. Maybe he might settle down now. Uncharacteristic for him to have lost 3 serves in this set after having gained point in each of those service games.
Reprise.
Well, what next? It's been a roller coaster ride. And it was still a long, long way from the finish. Stunner of the backhand. I know it skidded through. And this is why Zverev will always be a dangerous opponent for Nadal. As Mark was saying earlier, those long levers. So often an opponent is on the stretch, they're having to play the slice backhand, which brings in the forehand for Nadal, not Zverev. Sending Liechtenstein back. In the line call.
15. On the count.
Sasha, I lost my number.
He's lost his Dunby here, so that's the vibrator that goes on the strings. Vibration dampener.
What was that you called it?
Dunby.
A Dunby.
Yeah. There's many different names. Flew off, so it's somewhere on the court. Maybe flew off into the crowd and someone's got a nice souvenir, yeah?
Well, the court crew, when they fix the court at the end of this set, well, that could be another 40 minutes away.
For once, didn't quite get the volley right. And this time it's Zverev's turn to steal the point.
And you have to make a quick decision when you're going forward. And I think, for me, Rafa tried to get there too soon. If he'd maybe even hesitated slightly, he would have had a better shot of making that volley.
Wow. The reason I say wow is that that is a souvenir. Rafael Nadal missing an overhead. Credit to Zverev, though. He asked one more question again. Crowd thought the point was done.
Yeah, and that's Zverev is so far behind the court. That kept him alive.
Sharp as ever still.
Yeah. Is that a one-hander catch by multiple Roland-Garros champion?
He's been very good on the court with the interviews. Still very sharp off it as well. Break point, though, here for the world number 3. Oh, a little nick off the net, maybe. And that just led to Nadal not being able to adapt to the ball. And he is yet to hold serve in this second set.
I mean, every game he's actually had game point too, Rafa.
What a chance. Most. Zverev lost the first set, went a breakdown, and then went a breakdown again. Did not foresee this opportunity for the German. Serving to level the match. Audible obscenity, Zverev.
I didn't say nothing bad. Huh? No, it's not that word. I didn't say that word. I did not say that word. Okay, but I did not say that bad word. Come on, but then ask me. If you don't understand, ask me. I did not say that. I did not say that bad word. This is not right.
Now I understand.
This is not right.
But you have to put yourself in my position.
Well, it's his only outburst, really, in a negative fashion we've seen all match. And Zverev adamant he did not swear. If he did, it didn't sound like a swear word to me. That sounded like a no, and yet. But either way, Ronald Lichtenstein heard it as something else.
It was contained, wasn't it? It was. I know that you can use profanity in a very under your breath, and you're going to get caught out, but he has been composed.
Let's not forget as well, he's playing under a shadow already. Zverev, after what happened in Acapulco, where he got disqualified, he's been given an 8-week suspension. But he's on probation for the year, which ends in February next year. So if he steps out of line too much, he could be suspended from the tour for 8 weeks. But his behaviour, really, throughout the last couple of matches has been immaculate. And again, despite no doubt having frustration, being given that audible obscenity warning, code violation, he's reacted in the right way. It has been a strange set.
And still maybe have a little more in this second set chapter of an enthralling read right now.
One service hold, all set. We're about to get yet another break. It'll be the 8th of this set. Look at that. I mean, that is astounding. Maybe even more so for Zverev, who's usually so good behind the first serve.
Yeah. And that one service hold was an extended, lengthy encounter.
This is going to be a decision if this has found the line, but it hasn't. So there's a lot of pressure on this second serve to come. That is his 8th double fault, 3 in the game. And it is Rafa Nadal's birthday. That's probably the best gift he's going to receive. Right back in the set. Breaks once again. And I suppose, Mark, if you're being hypercritical, we all know Sasha Zverev is some tennis player. But that Achilles heel in the high pressure moments still seems to affect him.
Yeah, it does. Well, it has in this second set. It's reared its head. I don't think it was present in the first set. It certainly wasn't the cause of him dropping that first set. And so we move on. It's first serve percentage by both players looking very thin here in set 2.
context, that second serve for Zverev, he's only hit 22 second serves all match. 8 of them he's missed. And he's not that far off 50% missing. And yet the first serve percentage for the match is 77%. So when he goes for the serve, he's far more reliable in terms of making it. That's why we've seen in the past where he has gone for 2 first serves. Statistically, it's actually more sensible to go that way. But as it is, Nadal yet to hold serve in this set. That's got to change here if he wants to remain in it. 4-5. Contagious.
0-30.
Time no bother on the high ball at the net.
He lifted off for that. Forehand.
I mean, that's quite an incredible defensive lob from Nadal. Footwork wasn't perhaps the sharpest from Zverev, but what a dig from the 21-time Grand Slam champion.
He gave some space for this forehand, but I mean, that's only like maybe half a foot from the baseline. And yet still Rafa able to get up an amazingly high lob.
so good. And finally, Nadal holds serve. Like a champion, does it when it matters most.
Just hanging on, though, Pete, from love 30. Was not the position I'm sure that he was planning on.
Well, Mark, you just wonder. Set 1, Zverev up 4-3. Played a loose game. Same in this set, up 4-3, 30 love. Played a loose few points. How often do players allow champions back into matches and get away with it?
Still think that this is a bit of a level playing field, though. The way that this battle has unfolded. Clearly, big games ahead. And if we head into that tiebreaker area once again, but this set huge for Zverev.
Well, it's Nadal at his best.
It's a lot of work for Zverev to run around that backhand to hit the forehand. And he went in the wrong direction, unfortunately, because he leaves the court open. He has to do more work to remain alive in the point. As brief as it was, just one more strike.
All the momentum with Nadal right now. Oh, well, despite 2 miss-hits landing in the court, just thought maybe it's meant to be for Nadal. It was a composed finish from Zverev.
He is not wanting to use that forehand up the line right now. Had that opportunity, the court was open. Preferred to go cross-court.
Fantastic tennis. Both players have suddenly raised their level in such a significant game. It's been a scrappy set. It's coming to life once again right at the end, like it did in set 1.
Not good numbers at all for Zverev when he's coming forward at this stage of the match. Less than 50% throughout the tournament. He's been at 60+% when he gets to the net.
Oh, that's astounding. From the position he was in, high-risk shot, but Zverev hits the bullseye.
Gee, that's a pretty good speed, isn't it? 157. He flattened that backhand. High risk. It pays off for Zverev.
And then you just don't know what's going to happen next in this encounter. Big shatter come on, but it is called good. Seems players are struggling sometimes when they lead in the game. Zverev holds from love 30, just like Nadal did in the previous game. Just been told that that serve was in by 2 millimeters. It rather sums up the match right now. The finest of margins is going to decide this set, you feel, just like it decided the first. I'm sure you are transfixed by this amazing semi-final, like everyone inside Chatrier. Just have a little thought for Casper Ruud and Marin Cilic, who, by the way, we're scheduled as a not before 5:30 p.m. It's now 6 p.m. And they must be thinking, well, if Zverev wins this set, we could have another 3 hours. If Nadal wins it, it could be half an hour.
Right.
As in getting your preparations right for one of the biggest matches of your life.
They would have been here before this match started. Ideally, at least an hour, maybe ahead of time. They would have practiced, tried to take on some carbs, protein, maybe get ready for this match. And yeah, that's the tough part of playing second on the schedule.
I've just been told Ruud was practicing before the rain came. So he was here before this match started, before getting kicked off due to the rain. That's a little surprising statistic with this match. Many thinking Zverev was going to win the shorter points, and Nadal winning the longer ones.
Yeah.
Just looking as he walks away. I don't think he's thinking it's found the line, but Liechtenstein quick to check. 18 millimeters out, that one.
Yes,
We saw one with Una checking one that was 61 millimeters out the other night.
Demanded by Una to have it checked.
30-15.
Liked the reaction of Zverev, though, after the return went to Nadal's backhand, who was playing the backhand slice. He actually shuffled into the court because he's aware Rafa's backhand slice is not going to push him back. But if he is too deep and the ball fades and stays low, makes much more difficult shot for him. So good footwork, alert still by Zverev.
Got a little bit of a correction to make, by the way. I said 3 hours more. Just ticked into the 4th hour here. More like it could be 4.5 hours more. The fact that we're still in the 2nd set and into a 4th hour. What has been a crazy semi-final. Are we heading to a 2nd tiebreak? Nadal isn't done in terms of getting to the tiebreak just yet. Still moving so well, Zverev.
40-30.
He got a good strike on that backhand. It had enough sting on it that it made it very difficult for Rafa to control.
Oh no. Wow. This does not look good. Seeing that reaction from Zverev. Tough to watch. Tough to watch, tough to see, but he will have won a lot of fans today, Zverev, for his efforts, attitude and competitiveness, as well as his behaviour throughout. His first top 10 win in the previous round against Alcaraz was quite phenomenal. And we just hope the injury isn't too long. Something I've never seen before, lifting one of the crutches up to the crowd, who have responded superbly well here, as they so always do. And I think even Rafael Nadal, who's pretty much seen it all, a little shell-shocked.
Rafa, first question has to go about Sasha. Do you have any words, Sasha?
Well, very tough, no, and very sad for him, honestly. No, he was playing unbelievable tournament. Yeah, he's a very good colleague on the tour. I know how much he's fighting to win a Grand Slam, but for the moment he was very unlucky, no, and the only thing that I am sure is he's gonna win not one, much more than one. So I wish him all the very best and very fast recover.
So difficult to play against Sasha when he plays like this. Well, how was it for you? The big serve, big backhands. He played unbelievable in the first 2 sets.
Yeah, it have been a super tough match, no, 3 hours, over 3 hours, and we even didn't finish the second set, no. So it's one of the biggest challenges on the tour today when he's playing at this super high level. To play against him. Yeah, difficult to say a lot of things today in this situation. No, I mean, of course, for me, as everybody knows, be in the final of Roland-Garros one more time. It's a dream, without a doubt. Yeah. But at the same time, that finish that way. I have been there in the small room with Sasha before we came back on court, and see him crying there is a very tough moment. So yeah, just all the best to him and all the team.
Rafa, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good luck in the finals.
Merci beaucoup. Merci à tout le monde pour le soutien. Merci. Au revoir. À dimanche. Merci.
Qualifié pour la finale de Roland-Garros. Rafa
Classy
Nadal.
as ever from the 21-time Grand Slam champion.